Long before the rise of European powers, the African continent was home to some of the most sophisticated and influential civilizations in human history. In the heart of the Sahara, the ancient Ghana Empire thrived on gold and salt trade, boasting immense wealth and intricate social structures. Farther east, the Kingdom of Kush stood as a formidable force, rivaling Egypt with its powerful pharaohs and monumental pyramids. Meanwhile, the illustrious city of Timbuktu, under the Mali Empire, became a renowned center of learning and culture, housing one of the largest libraries in the world at the time. What other mysteries and marvels did these African kingdoms hold? Watch till the end to discover. The Kushites were ancient Egypt's neighbors, often referred to as Nubians, and they left an indelible mark on history. Emerging in what is now Sudan, the Kush civilization rose to prominence after Egypt's New Kingdom period. Before Egypt's conquest, the Sudanese region boasted a thriving civilization around Kerma, dating from 2500 to 1500 BCE. The Egyptians, always wary of their southern neighbors, eventually conquered this area, stretching from Aswan to Khartoum. However, by the 11th century BCE, as Egypt's power waned, the Kushites seized the opportunity to assert their independence. By this time, Kush had absorbed many Egyptian customs, creating a fascinating blend of local and Egyptian traditions. Despite this cultural exchange, early archaeologists often failed to recognize Kush as a distinct entity, mistakenly attributing their achievements to an unknown civilization. The Kushite kingdom, with its capital at Napata, flourished, becoming a hub of wealth and culture, driven by the lucrative Nile Valley trade. Excavations at Napata have unearthed impressive palaces, tombs, and Egyptian-style statues, all testaments to Kush's grandeur. The Kushites worshipped the Egyptian sun god Amun, and Napata became a central site for sun worship. They also developed their own script, Meroitic, an early African written language still being deciphered today. In 2018, the largest cache of Meroitic texts was discovered at Sadenga, offering a treasure trove of insights into Kushite history. In the 8th century BCE, the Kushites turned the tables on Egypt. Taking advantage of internal strife, King Kashta declared himself ruler of Egypt, establishing the 25th dynasty. His son, Pai, solidified this claim, marching into Egypt with a formidable force and reigning as pharaoh. The Kushite pharaohs ruled over a vast territory along the Nile, undertaking grand construction projects and building numerous pyramids. Remarkably, Sudan now boasts more pyramids than Egypt, despite many being destroyed in the 19th century by a treasure-hunting Italian explorer. The reign of Taharqa, the last great Kushite pharaoh, was marked by prosperity and military might. He even features in the Hebrew Bible, aiding his Jewish allies against the Assyrians. However, the Assyrians eventually overpowered him, seizing his Egyptian territories in the 660s BCE. The Kushites maintained a significant iron trade with the Romans, and Meroe, their late-period capital, was an industrial center filled with iron forges. Despite initial conflicts with Rome, including a Kushite queen leading an invasion, they eventually coexisted peacefully. The Kushites remained a powerful and enigmatic presence on Rome's southern border until their decline in the 4th century CE. Watch till the end to uncover more about these remarkable civilizations. Now let's journey west to the enigmatic Nok civilization in Nigeria. The Nok are perhaps the most mysterious of ancient African civilizations. Discovered accidentally in a 1928 mining operation near the village of Nok in central Nigeria, they only caught the attention of mainstream archaeologists in the 1940s after more artifacts were uncovered. These findings revealed an ancient culture known for its elaborate terracotta heads, sparking intrigue and speculation. Initially, all anyone knew was that the Nok were very ancient. Their civilization dates are constantly being revised, with some historians now suggesting that Nok culture may have emerged as early as 1500 BCE. This makes them one of the earliest known civilizations in sub-Saharan Africa. Most terracotta figures date from 500 BCE to 200 CE, marking the height of Nok culture. The Nok people were highly influential in West Africa, pioneering iron smelting techniques around 500 BCE. This technological leap made them the earliest in the region to produce iron tools, skipping the Bronze Age entirely, a rare feat in ancient technological development. Artifacts spread over 50,000 square kilometers suggest that the Nok culture was widespread. Many believe a central Knox city may still be undiscovered. Despite the extensive spread of artifacts, the organization of Knox society remains unknown. Unfortunately, Knox buildings, primarily made from wood and mud bricks, have not survived the tropical climate, leaving us with limited architectural evidence. What we do know about Knox culture comes from their emblematic clay statues. These figures, found in their hundreds across Nigeria, depict various aspects of Knox life. They feature musicians playing ancient instruments, warriors, prisoners, and lovers, offering glimpses into the civilization's social dynamics. The Knox terracotta art influenced later cultures along the Niger River, underscoring their significance in the region. As non-invasive archaeological techniques advance, there's hope that more Knox sites will be discovered, shedding light on this mysterious civilization. Transitioning from the mysterious Knox civilization, we now turn to the cosmopolitan trading empire of Axum. According to the Persian prophet Mani, the Empire of Axum was once considered one of the world's great powers, alongside Rome, China, and Persia. Yet, like many ancient African civilizations, it has been largely forgotten by Western history, partly because Axum reached its zenith as Western Europe entered the Dark Ages. Centered around the city of Axum in present-day Ethiopia, this empire was one of the most formidable ancient African civilizations. It gradually expanded to include parts of Eritrea, Djibouti, Sudan, and even Yemen. Although early pre-Christian Axum is not well documented, the city emerged as a significant power in East Africa around the 1st century BCE. By the 4th century CE, it had undermined many neighboring powers, including the Sudanese Kush. Axum's expansion was strategic, aiming to control 3 lucrative trade routes: the Nile trade route, which transported goods from the African interior to the Mediterranean, the Red Sea trade route, connecting the Middle East and Asia, and the coastal route to India and the Far East, known as the Maritime Silk Road. This control over trade routes brought immense wealth to Axum, attracting traders from across the world and creating a cosmopolitan empire. One of the most famous artifacts from this period is the Azana stone, the Ethiopian equivalent of the Rosetta Stone, bearing a proclamation by King Azana in 3 languages. This highlights Axum's role as a cultural and commercial crossroads. By the 6th century CE, Axum was at its peak. The empire formed an important political and military alliance with Byzantine Emperor Justinian I. Axum, an early convert to Christianity, assisted Justinian by rescuing persecuted Christians in the Arabian Peninsula. This alliance was not just religious, but also a strategic move to secure trade routes, bypassing Byzantine enemies like the Sasanian Persians. Axum's ports, especially Adulis, buzzed with activity, and the empire's wealth was reflected in the gold coins found throughout the region. However, Axum's prosperity was short-lived. The rise of Islam in the 7th century disrupted many African civilizations. By the 10th century, Axum had lost its grip on power in Ethiopia, marking the end of its golden age. Leaving the grandeur of Axum, we now journey to the heart of West Africa, where the Mali Empire once thrived. The Mali Empire rose to power in 1235 when a coalition of kingdoms overthrew the Sasso Empire. At its peak in the 14th century, Mali controlled over 400 cities across modern Senegal, Gambia, Guinea, Guinea-Bissau, Ivory Coast, northern Ghana, southern Mauritania, Mali, northern Burkina Faso, and western Niger. Only the Mongol and Inca empires were larger during this period. Renowned for its wealth, the Mali Empire dominated the region's gold trade. Its most famous ruler, Mansa Musa, is often hailed as the world's richest man. His 1324 pilgrimage to Mecca is legendary. He brought so much gold to Cairo that he devalued its price for nearly 2 decades. This journey showcased Mali's immense wealth and influence. The Mali Empire was a confederation of territories with varying degrees of autonomy. Some empires enjoyed practical independence, while others were governed by appointed officials. This structure allowed Mali to manage its vast expanse effectively. Despite its glory, the empire began to decline in the 15th century as its grip on the gold trade weakened. By then, internal strife and external pressures chipped away at its powers. Transitioning from the vast Mali Empire, we now explore the remarkable Kingdom of Zimbabwe. The Kingdom of Zimbabwe, founded by the Shona people around 1200, lasted until about 1600. This kingdom is best known for the ruins of Great Zimbabwe, located roughly 165 miles south of Harare, the modern capital of Zimbabwe. Great Zimbabwe, a massive stone city built without mortar, is one of the largest pre-colonial stone structures in southern Africa, covering several square miles and once housing up to 18,000 people. Most of Great Zimbabwe remains unexcavated, but recent research has shed light on the advanced techniques its builders used to manage water scarcity. They stored water in pits called dakas, fed by springs and rainwater, sustaining an urban population of elites, religious leaders, craftsmen, and merchants. This sophisticated irrigation system enabled the cultivation of crops, while the city thrived on trade, exchanging gold, copper, and ivory with other parts of Africa and the Middle East. Great Zimbabwe flourished until the 15th century, when it was eclipsed by the rising Kingdom of Mutapa, based north of Harare. The decline of Great Zimbabwe remains a subject of fascination, with ongoing excavations aiming to uncover more of its secrets. Now let's venture north to the Kingdom of the Garamantes. This kingdom thrived in the Fezzan region of present-day southwestern Libya around 400 BCE. Initially thought to be a minor kingdom, decades of research have revealed that the Garamantes built several large cities, sustained by a unique irrigation system. They transported water from ancient aquifers in the desert sandstone through underground tunnels called fogaras. These tunnels allowed the Garamantes to cultivate crops and maintain their kingdom in the heart of the Sahara, facilitating trade in gold, ivory, and slaves. The Garamantes were not just skilled engineers, but also formidable warriors. Their well-trained army, equipped with chariots, horses, and camels, expanded their territory and protected trade routes. This military prowess helped them establish dominance in the harsh desert environment. However, the kingdom's reliance on the aquifers eventually led to its decline. As the water levels in the aquifers fell too low to sustain the fogaras, the Garamantes struggled to maintain their agricultural base. By the 2nd century BCE, their power had waned significantly. With the rise of the Roman Empire along North Africa's coast, the Garamantes came under Roman influence, though some cities in the Fezzan remained occupied until at least the 11th century. Thank you for joining us on this adventure through time, exploring the rich legacies of Africa's ancient empires. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, comment, and share. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss an update.